So do you guys ever struggle with your serve? It's because of a bad toss. You can't get that toss consistent all the time. It's too low, too out wide. If so, then this video is for you. We're going to explain what the proper toss is and how to get a consistent toss all of the time. So let's start off. Where do you want your toss to be? Well, if you are a right-handed player, I want you guys to think of a clock, okay? 12 o'clock is up here. 6 o'clock's down here. I want you guys to think that you want your toss at 1 o'clock. So if I'm a right-handed player, I want my toss up and out in front at 1 o'clock. Once again, 12 o'clock's here, so I want the toss out in front to the right. If you are a left-handed player, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, right? You guys want that toss at 11 o'clock, up and out in front to the left. If you guys can get the toss in that position, you guys will be able to hit a better serve. Okay, the next thing, right? So not just the placement, but the height. Let's talk about the height. So this is the number one way to show where you want to make contact with your serve. So this is called the gate trail. I do this with all of my students. I do this in other videos as well, right? So I'm going to be a foot away from the gate, right? I'm going to do my serve, do it slowly. I don't want to do this fast because I don't want to break my racket, right? So I'm going to do it slow, and I'm going to freeze at the gate. I'm going to freeze at contact and look up. When I look up, I'm going to feel stretch in my lats. So look, that is where I want to make contact with the serve. So I'm going to turn around now and face the camera and show you where I want to make contact with the serve. Look, it is that high, right? So what does that mean? My toss has to be pretty darn high in order to hit a good serve. So not only you want your toss at, again, I'm going to be explaining it for a right-handed player, lefties just do the opposite. Not only you want that toss at 1 o'clock, but you want that toss super high so you can extend when you hit, just like you are at the gate. So you want that toss, again, up and out in front to the right, and you want it to be high. If the toss is too low, it's not going to go, right? Where's the toss going to go if I have a low toss? Or where's my serve going to go if I have a low toss? Well, let's do it, all right? So if my toss is too low, where's the ball gonna go? It's gonna go in the net. Or if I still go up and my toss is too low, it's gonna go long. Why? Because I need that toss high so I can come down on the ball, right? So I need that toss up and out in front to the right so I can come down on my serve when I hit. I needed that toss higher right there, right? So another way that you can think about it, right? We're going to put this right here. We're on the hard true so I can show you guys. I like when I'm with all my students, I'm gonna lower this camera right here. I like to actually draw where the toss should land at, right? So I'm fully extended, I'm extending, right? I'm gonna draw where I want my toss to be. So if I'm lined up right here, I'm going to show you guys with the camera. If I'm lined up at that line, I want the toss to be right there when I hit every single time. That is where I want the toss to be. So let's do a couple reps right now. And we're going to try to let the toss go and have it bounce in the circle that we just drew. All right? So we're on the ad side right now, and we're just trying to have it bounce in that circle. Let's do 2 more. Bounce in the circle, 2 for 2, 1 more. All right, perfect. So I just did 3 in a row, right? Every single time the toss bounced in the circle, there's a little bit of height to it so I can hit a good toss. I need to go up to it. Let's do 1 more. Oh, there we are. Okay. So that is where you want their toss, right? So we already explained where we want the toss to be. Let's explain how to do it consistently. So there's a couple tricks that I use with all my students to ensure that you guys have a consistent toss, all right? Number 1, I want you guys to think, or number 2, I want you to think 2 things, right? Number 1, you want your arm straight. Number 2, you want to make sure that your palm is up. Once again, the 2 main components to a consistent toss is number 1, I want the arm straight. Number 2, I want my palm up. Arm straight, palm up. This is the reason why a lot of people, what they do is that their arms bent when they toss, it goes all over, right? Or a lot of people do, they flick their fingers. They start flicking their fingers. By flicking their fingers, it makes an inconsistent toss. So what I like to tell my students is palm up, right? When I toss, I want to put my palm up to the sky. Again, if you guys are missing a lot or being inconsistent with your toss, check. Are you using your fingers when you toss the ball up in the air? How do you know that you're using the fingers? If you can't record yourself, your ball is going to be spinning. So if you see your ball spinning a ton, it's because you're using your fingers. So you need to use more palm. So look, when I toss this ball straight up into the air, my palm is up, all right? So you want the palm up. I like to use with all my students, pretend that you're holding a tray of drinks, right? Tray of drinks, you want to keep that tray of drinks upward, right? You want to keep it still. If I go like this, what's going to happen? The tray of drinks are going to spill on me, right? Or if I go like this, the tray of drinks are going to fall down. When I toss, I want my arm straight and I want to keep the tray upwards. If I go like this, what? It's going to spill, right? So I just want you to go out on court and think two things again. Number one, you want your arm straight. Number two, tray of drinks up when you hit every single time. Ah, there was a ton of sun in my eyes, right? So arm straight, palm up. Another thing where a lot of coaches go wrong is when people have trouble with their serve, they say, oh, higher toss, go up, go higher. You guys don't necessarily need a higher toss. And let me explain why, right? So it doesn't matter how high my toss is if I let the ball drop. So all you have to do, instead of whenever your coach tells you to have a higher toss, just think you have to hit the ball earlier, okay? You don't need a super high toss. All you need is that toss high enough that you can fully extend while I hit. So if I can get my toss to around this height every single time, that's good. I don't need it any higher, right? And what I'm saying, watch this, right? So high toss, Tyler, you gotta have a high toss, right? So I have this super high toss, I let it drop still, it doesn't work, right? So it doesn't matter about the height of the toss. It just matters that when I toss, I'm fully extending when I hit, all right? So if you guys are doing the arm straight, the palm up, and it is still not working, I want you to think about your release point. Where do you let go of the ball when you're tossing on your serve, okay? Watch this, let me explain. So when you guys release the ball, when that ball comes out of your hand, I want you to think about two things. Number one, your belly button. Number two, your shoulder. So you want to release the ball between your belly button and your shoulder. So I want the ball to come out of my hand around here. If your toss goes behind you consistently, 9 times out of 10, it's because you're releasing the ball above your shoulder. When I release the ball above my shoulder, the ball's going to go back, right? If I'm having trouble with my toss going too far out in front, 9 times out of 10, it's because I'm releasing the ball at or below my belly button. Watch this, right? So when I release it at or below my belly button, the ball is going to go too forward. So what you guys want to make sure that you're doing is that every single time you toss, you release the ball between your shoulder and your belly button. By releasing the ball between my shoulder and my belly button, it's going to allow me to have much more consistent toss. As you could see, that ball bounced in the circle that we drew. So release that ball between your shoulder and your belly button while you hit every single time. All right, that was too low. The sun was in my eyes. Let's try it one more time. Here we are. So we're going to release that ball between our shoulder and our belly button. Let's see, second serve right here. Let's go. So, oh shoot, that was a bad one. Released it too high, it went behind me. So palm up, arm straight, between the belly button and shoulder. All right, guys, now I'm feeling pressure. Okay, we're just gonna stop right there. But maybe I'll cut that, maybe I won't. You know what? We gotta give it another try. Here we are. Let's go. Come on, we're already so far in this video. Let's do it again. Oh, one more. Second serve, love 15. Oh, there we are, okay. Guys, see that last one? That was a good one. I hit a kick, so I tossed it more above my head. So that is tossing 101, right? So if you want to get that ball more consistent for your toss, again, you want your arm straight, palm up, release the ball between your shoulder and your belly button, okay? Now let's talk about the different types of serves. So there is a different toss for the different types of serves that you want to hit. Let me explain. So I love the clock analogy, right? So you have 12 o'clock up here, 6 o'clock down here. If you're a right-handed player, if you want a flat serve, a normal serve, you want that toss at 1 o'clock. when you hit, right? Up and out in front to the right. That's what we were explaining right there, right? But if you guys want to hit a kick serve, if you guys want to hit a topspin serve, you need to change up your toss. You need to differentiate your serves, tosses, if you want to hit a different serve. So if you want to kick serve, you need to toss that ball a little bit above your head and at 12 o'clock, all right? So if I want a flat serve, I want it out in front 1 o'clock. If I want a kick serve, I want it above my head and 12 o'clock, right? If I want a slice serve, I want to think that my ball is at 1.5 o'clock, all right? So the more I bring it behind and over the head, the more kick I'm going to hit. The more out in front and to the right I toss it, the more flat I'm going to hit. The more, even more out in front to the right and to the side I toss it, the more slice I'm going to hit, all right? So the more, as a right-handed player, the more I get that toss to the right, the more slice I'm going to get. The more I get it behind me, and at 12 o'clock, the more kick I'm going to get. For a lefty, right? If you want it flat, 11 o'clock. If you want it slice, you want it 10.5 o'clock, more out to the left. And if you want to kick, you still want it at 12 o'clock above your head. The number one mistake that I see a lot of my players who are learning new spins, right, is that they do the proper mechanics of the serve. For example, the kick, you gotta go up to it. The flat, you gotta put your palm to it. The slice gotta come around. They do the right technique, but they forget to make sure that they do the right toss, all right? So if you guys are learning new spins, make sure the number one thing is the toss, right? The toss is key regardless of what level you are. Another thing that everyone needs to know, and so many people don't do this, is how many times can you toss the ball up in the air? You can toss the ball up in the air as many times as you want. There's no set limit. Oh, you're done, your time ran out. Unless you're at the US Open, there's a shot clock, right? The timer's gonna run out. But if I want to, if it's a bad toss, I can toss, let it go, toss, I can catch it. As long as this ball doesn't touch my racket, it doesn't count as a fault. I actually used to use that as a tactic, right? So I'd toss and catch a million times, right? The person will be pissed off on the other side, waiting, when's he gonna serve? And then you go, boom, serve it like Kyrgios, right? You can do that as well, right? So guys, if it's a bad toss, don't hit it, all right? Think about like baseball. A lot of baseball players, what do? They only hit the ball when it's a good pitch, right? Don't hit a bad pitch. Let that pitch go, just like a bad toss. So once again, guys, just to review, if you can keep your arm straight, palm up, you want that toss. If you're a beginner or intermediate player, or not playing with any other spins yet, you want it at 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock for lefties, right? Also, you guys want to make sure, again, your palm stays up. You're releasing it between your shoulder and your belly button. If you're experimenting with spins, you want the kick at 12, slice at 1.5, and flat at 1. Lefties, kick at 12, slice at 10:30 or 10.5, and flat at 11, right? So guys, if you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments below. I really hope this helps you with your toss. Again, the number one rule is do not hit a bad pitch, right? If it's a bad toss, let it go. Again, guys, I'm here for you. If you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm here to help you. I'm gonna drop my link to my Instagram in the description below. Feel free to click on it. I have tons of different tossing videos, different visuals that you guys can see. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one and happy serving. See ya.